I'm Representative Al Baldessaro, and this is Who's Looking Out for You, once again with my great co-host, Janine Donner, Representative from Merrimack.
Hey,
Welcome
Al.
once again. I haven't seen you. We haven't done a show in a couple of weeks.
No, we haven't. But our last show, we had the table with Representative James Blaine, Representative Kevin Burville, and State Rep candidate Alan Bernstein.
Yes.
And all three of them got through their primary.
That was awesome.
So good job, guys.
They were all motivated that we did this show there, and they played it, I guess, in their area or whatever they did with the show, and I got a lot of good response on it. And I heard they were complimenting you, not me. That's what I heard. You did a good job, and you know, so that's what I heard. So you know, yeah, from I don't know.
Talking?
I can't say. I can't give up my you know, connections there. But anyways, I see the picture of you this morning running again.
Oh yeah, I'm always running.
Well,
but
how many miles again are you up to now?
Well, this morning I only ran 6, but my year-to-date total since January is 1,388.
Wow.
So now I've exceeded the entire year of 2017.
That's awesome.
Like
Any marathons coming up before the
I
show?
do have a marathon. I'm going to do the Manchester.
Is that a full marathon or
half?
half?
No, it's the full marathon. I have 12 medals for full marathons and 13 half, and I've got to get them even again. So
God bless. Hey, you know, we got a good friend of mine that running for state rep. And
speaking of running,
yeah, he's running for state rep, and I've known him for many years. Very involved in the community, does a great job with the Rails. He's with the Heritage, I believe. He's done a lot with elder seniors, and he's a Second Amendment guy. I mean, I could go on and on about this guy. He had the great things he does in Londonderry.
Army paratrooper, we were talking
Roger
before the show.
Fillio.
How do you do?
Roger, welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
And
we've known each other, what, 5 minutes now?
Yeah, he stepped up to the plate here, and he's our 7th candidate. This is the first time in my 7 terms running that we do not have a primary.
I could say ditto for Merrimack.
Yeah.
We have 8 seats.
And what they don't realize, that costs us money. And you know, a lot of us don't raise a lot of money, and I spend money out of my pocket. Like
I didn't. Well, I did put an ad in the church festival program, so that was covered by one of the groups that sent me a check.
Awesome.
But that was it. I spent $100 total on the primary.
So Roger, for some out there that don't know who you are, tell us who you are, what you're about, and why you're running.
Well, the first thing is
Not all that.
Yeah.
you have 25
you
minutes.
introduced
Go.
me.
Yeah, go.
You introduced me very well, and I accept all those
Yeah.
compliments.
So there you go. There you have it. Don't forget to vote.
Yeah. Thank you for the show. We'll see you next week.
See, we got the governor coming up next.
Yes, I wanted to get my word from me out, because one of the things that I've noticed is that when they send you these surveys, which I'm sure you all get,
Oh,
they
the
have
surveys.
25 surveys.
I don't fill them out.
You don't need to do them all.
Right.
I don't do any
We'll
of
let you
them.
know which ones.
Oh,
The Second Amendment ones probably, the NHFC, I'm not too happy with that group. But the other ones, NRA, any of that stuff there, I don't fill them out because I have a voting record.
yes.
But go ahead.
Well, my problem with them is they all make you somewhere in there take a pledge to do this or that. And how can I run for office and say I'm going to represent people if I've already pledged not to do something? And I don't think that's correct. You've got to look at whatever comes in front of you and give it an equal shake, both for and against, and see what your people want you to do.
I've always taken the pledge, no new taxes, no new
Yeah.
fees. I always have. And when I have
that's the
people
only
call
pledge
me,
I
I
do.
say, look, I can't vote for this subsidy because I'd be
Yeah.
a liar if I changed the way I vote. And I've been voting the way I said I would vote right from the start in 8 years. Haven't broken the promise.
What runs into me is my thing on Second Amendment. I mean, to give you an idea of who I am, I'm a life member of Go New Hampshire. I am 40 years a member of the NRA. I am a certified pistol instructor. I've been president, vice president of a gun club which I belong to for over 20 years.
We have Londonderry Fish and Game. It's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. It's a
Big
very
club.
nice facility.
I was with Wilson Hill, but I also was a member at the same time of Londonderry Fish and Game. I was one of the first people who started the Friends of the NRA up here. You know, that program would get money for
Right.
kids and stuff. So I think that speaks volumes for me, and I shouldn't have to take a pledge to say that I'm going to stand
Right.
up, because I've been standing up all the time.
Well, the key is on those there with those, because Second Amendment is a big issue in New Hampshire. We're one of the safest states in the country.
I get a lot of email.
It'd
about
be in
that.
your best interest because they put out to all
Yeah.
their members, they got thousands of members, that you're an A.
Yep.
You know, on your, because they know you're a member, but they don't know.
Yep.
But the rest of the people around, that's why it's great that Londonderry will see this show.
Well, that's why I'm here, because I
Right.
didn't do that, and maybe with advice from people who have been through, I should start doing those sort of surveys. But I have surveys, and I didn't even know
Yeah.
these were people, you know, what they're about. You
Right.
know,
Well,
so
I know there are so many surveys, and there's so many gun surveys that,
Oh.
and I wonder when they come out. Didn't I already fill this out? All right, I'll fill it out again because
Well-
there's so many of them.
You know something, I got it in my mind there, I don't fill them out.
Yeah.
And if you want to give me a bad recommendation, her and I got voting records.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at our voting record, it's public. Look, go ahead.
Well, so I just wanted to bring that up as an example. And I am, without question, a constitutionalist person. I believe in the Constitution.
What
Not
you got in
only-
your pocket there, Al?
Oh, yeah, that's I
I always, I don't go anywhere without them.
Yep.
And like I said, because I've been on state and federal for 12 years. And we deal with all the constitutional issues.
Well,
Janine used to be on there.
2 terms.
That's what you need. I mean, and people used to say to me, "Well, what's the state constitution?" Because they know more and hear
Complicated.
more. Yeah, but it's there, and I believe in that's the basis for whatever we're going to do. We need to make sure that it aligns with that, whether we're moving, financial issues. Do they fit within the Constitution rights for us to do this? And that's what. So if I say I'm a Second Amendment person, I am also a First Amendment person, which is freedom of speech. So I think you should be able
Right,
to say
freedom
what you
of religion.
want, freedom of religion, and et cetera. So I'm really not just a First Amendment and a Second Amendment and then a 14th Amendment, or I am for it all.
So do you believe people should have a right to stand on a sidewalk and pray if they so choose to? Public sidewalk?
Of course.
Okay, because it's illegal to do that in front on Pennacook Street in I think is it Pennacook Street?
Yeah, they made
in
it
front
more-
of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah,
Buffer
Oh.
zone. Yeah, they
and
passed
that's
that.
a shame. We need to definitely repeal that.
Oh, I put a
because
bill in.
There was a constitution.
I put you down. I think I put you down.
Yeah, okay.
I
But,
will.
but these are one of the things we have to talk about, because now this is, can I pray? Yes, I can pray. But is it infringing on
But
someone else?
quietly, you're not even singing. Just standing there quietly praying, and that's illegal.
That's
Because
That was the Democrats,
that was Senator
you know.
Donna Soucy. Yes,
Okay.
in
Yeah,
Manchester.
the Democrats.
London. Where does she live? Litchfield,
Yeah, I
Manchester.
don't even know where it was, yeah.
I don't know. I just know it was her.
But these are one of the things that we have to look at. And that's why I don't take a pledge to, or haven't, but I guess I should start doing that on various issues. But there are hundreds of them. And that's why it's important to go right back to see what
Right.
it says. And it's going to say that, as my answer was originally, yes, you can pray wherever you
Right.
want. You can't have a bunch of people stop a line so that nobody
Right.
can get through. But there's nothing
There's a
saying.
distinction there. It's supposed to be freedom of religion, not freedom from religion.
That's right.
Yes, I like that. And there's one that came out, it's by the New Hampshire Taxpayers Association. I've signed that pledge every 2 years.
Yep.
In 12 years as I've been a rep, I haven't voted for one new tax.
Neither have I.
I refused. I want New Hampshire to live within their means. Where are you on taxation?
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I moved here from Massachusetts because I could afford to come to New Hampshire and buy a house and live here within my means, mainly because taxes are low here, comparatively speaking. And again, it's something that, we're basically on a property tax situation. That funds just about everything. The majority of it in our town goes to school. I think about a little more
Yeah,
than
that's
Right.
just about everywhere.
yeah. But that, when you think about it, is really a fairly big chunk of anything. I mean,
And
you're
it's-
running a
Yeah,
system.
and it's mostly salaries. It's not really all for the
Yeah,
classroom.
and then fixed
but
costs
it's-
in the running the buildings, the heat, the electricity, and the teachers. And I wish, of course, teachers got more money versus the administrators. You know what I mean? Because we have
I'm
too
with
many
you.
administrators in the school system, in my opinion.
Well, you're talking to a person that one time I moved from Boston where I was working, and I decided to live and work in the town I was in, which was Londonderry. So the only job I could find was head custodian of South School, $4.80 an hour.
Wow.
But I was able to live in Londonderry on that.
What year was that?
I don't want to make myself seem that old, but that was in
You
the
weren't riding a
70s.
horse to work or anything, were you?
You ever see that cartoon?
Early 70s or 80s.
Yeah. No, he kind of looks like them.
Oh, yeah?
But-
a little bit.
The key to listen to that is, you know, they published the book of Who Makes Money Where. I was the third highest paid person in that school. The next above me was the principal.
Wow.
And above her was a teacher who had been a teacher for so long that she had this longevity. I made about $14,000 then because I worked all year and there was a
Right.
lot of overtime, which teachers don't get paid.
So you were one of the highest paid, and it was $14,000.
Back many years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but the thing is, there's all these teachers behind me. You know what I'm saying? They just so when you talk about who's getting the money,
Right.
if you look at the, I don't know if it's the last year or a couple of years ago when the book comes out, who's the highest paid person
Right.
in the school department? He was a head custodian
Wow.
for the outside grounds.
Really?
Over $100,000. You know,
For the custodian? I want that job.
well, it's not easy. I can tell you. Having
Right.
spent,
How many
it was
years did you do that?
4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
And I went back in the Army full time.
Oh.
Gives you an idea.
You
And you made less money.
Al's a Marine.
Oh no, I went
Yeah.
from 14,000 to 28,000 take home.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
With
Well,
the Army.
you retired. How many years in the Army?
Over 35.
Over 35. What
And
rank were you?
a paratrooper?
For 6 of them. I was Sergeant First Class, which is, most people talk about the
E7.
E7, yeah. And I retired from the reserves, so I didn't get even though I had a lot of years, I didn't get the full benefit. 20 years equals 50%. That's a
Right.
basic. I didn't get that, but I got plenty. Believe me, I'm able to live in Londonderry pretty much
Right.
on my military.
Well, that's the same thing with me and my retirement, my
Yeah.
disability, and of course I have a lot of medical issues.
I
and-
make $100 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for that?
Yes.
You know, do you know we make $100 a year, right?
Absolutely. My wife told
That's
me,
all I get.
when I was marching in the parade once, I was saying, you know, I need you to vote for me because I need the job for the money. And she said, you know, most people think you're going to make 100,000, not 100.
Right.
No, but actually we are in it for the money, because as long as we're there, we're voting no,
No,
to
I-
taxes and
Yeah,
fees.
that's right. So we're actually protecting everybody to keep the government out of your pockets.
That's
you know?
right.
And what most people don't understand, the statewide education property tax, because some of my kids, you're going to see, some of your
Yep.
constituents going to say, we need more money from the state on education. The state is everybody. If we raise that, we have to raise property taxes. We haven't done it in 9 years. We vote for the local control. Are you a local control guy?
Absolutely. The smaller, the lower, the most efficient on any job or business or the government. You know, the most efficient group of people is the basic family. You take, you know, and my family has grown, but when we were growing.
Oh, school choice.
Yeah. But before I go, I have to say I was a soldier on until I was 60 years old. I retired the day before my 60th
Wow,
birthday.
that's awesome.
I got my last paycheck.
Did you serve in Afghanistan, Iraq at all? or-
Unfortunately
Take 2
for
days in
me,
a
I
row.
never served anywhere. I
Yeah.
went to Korea and I went to
But you went
Canada.
to Korea after the
After the war.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never. I can't talk about war stories because I was never in the war.
Well, you know, the ones who were there, they don't talk about it either.
No.
No, my uncle was in the Korean War. and
I
he
served.
would
Yeah, I was in
not talk
Desert
about
Storm and Desert Shield. You know, and
it. Yeah. The Bloody
yeah.
George platoon. Have you heard of that? That my uncle was in that.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
there's so many.
When I get together with my cousins, we'll go in the other room and we'll talk
Yeah.
about it, because we can't even mention it in front of him all those years, and it still haunts him.
You know, one of the big things, so you know, up at the State House, there's some people ran and didn't realize the much time that you got to put into this. And you're retired, right?
yes,
So you have the time to be up there for a day of voting. a couple of, maybe a day of committee work.
Yeah, well, you could put him on one of those really busy committees because he's got the time.
Yeah.
Well, two things. I wanted to mention that I retired at age 60 from there, and I was in pretty good shape then still, because you still have to take the same amount of PT tests and everything as anybody else. But tomorrow is my first day as a substitute teacher in Londonderry. It's going to be an experience. So yes, I can definitely afford all the time, and because I, as you know about a substitute teacher, they call you, and if you can go, you go. If not, you say no, and they go on to the next person. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, we have the finance committee. They meet sometimes 7 days a week, so
Yes.
it's not too much time. And let's see, Ways and Means. That's another really busy one.
Municipality, commerce, criminal justice.
Criminal justice gets a lot of bills. Education.
Judiciary, education.
Judiciary,
yeah. Is there any specialties that you're looking to get into? Any area?
Well, I thought, because I mentioned working in the law firm, that I thought the judicial committee would be
Okay,
something.
then I have to ask, because I'm hugely pro-life. Are you?
Yes,
That's where the pro-life
I'm a
bills go.
Christian, and actually I'm a Catholic, and I do
We are
believe
too.
that. Yeah, and I believe that. On the other hand, I was a nuclear weapons specialist.
Oh, so science, tech, and energy. That's my committee. So
Oh no, I would say that's a very vicious weapon, and it doesn't discriminate.
Well, Doug Thomas sits actually on science and technology.
Yeah. He's the clerk.
Yeah, Bob Intro, who's from Londonderry also.
He
and,
was my chairman.
He was the chair for a while. Bob was many years a great guy. He was an asset to the state there. Most people didn't realize what he did because he was quiet but knowledgeable.
That's
Yeah.
when you talk about energy, we have a Seabrook plant, but we also have a building right next to it, which could be another plant. And actually, nuclear power is close to what natural gas is in cost. And it just. But the problem is, you can't if they're making it here, they're shipping it somewhere else and selling it cheaper than we're buying anything. Right. And I that's a problem for me.
Well, we fight every week. There's an argument over the what they call renewables.
Yeah. We do have one
natural gas
that is looking to come into Londonderry that I agree with, which is a.
You're talking about the pipeline?
No, the solar farm over.
Oh, the solar farm, yes.
In the northeast corner.
I agree with that there, but this is where I have an issue with it. The bill, we just killed the bill. And the reason why is because right now it's 1 megawatts they can produce. We can produce in homes and everything. And if you produce anything over, then you can get retail costs.
Yes.
Reimbursed. The 5 megahertz, what's going to happen is that they want retail costs. So what that means is that the consumers, our electric bills are going to go up because Eversource has to pay those. So we asked them come back with another bill, put them where they recoup the monies at wholesale costs, so we're not picking winners and losers. Did I say it right?
I think so. I was thinking ahead of you of the other bill, the biomass tax that was.
The subsidies.
Yeah, we missed it by 1 vote.
We tried to
of course,
kill that
everybody
bill.
that was missing that day, they got in trouble with everybody.
My feeling on that is there should be no subsidies. It can stand on its own.
That's right.
Amen.
Now, that was the exact question, because I'm on the planning board, and they proposed this, and I'm on the conservation. They proposed it. I asked them both, is this subsidized? Because I'm not interested if it's not. If you're going to generate electricity and sell it on the open market with no subsidies, I don't care how you generate it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to expect us to pay, and I don't agree, I'm a public service. My bill is higher than you can shake a stick at.
You're not
what
alone.
else we passed, and I was there for the bill signing, was at the end of the year now, at the bottom of your energy bill, you're going to get to see where all your money's going.
Yes.
And boy, we really had to fight for that.
It's a shame
it's
for transparency.
We had to fight for that.
My daughter has
They wanted to hide
home
it.
in Kentucky, and it's on the Tennessee Valley Authority. That's a big dam. Okay. He has an all-electric house, air conditioning, heating, everything is electric.
Oh, wow.
And in the winter, which was their biggest bill, it was $85.
Wow.
It's a 3-bedroom.
I used to pay $350, almost $400 a month in electricity bill until I put solar on my house. I leased it.
Yeah.
Best thing ever did.
We do the same
I
thing.
saved a few $100s a month now for my family. I'm not rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those bills were killing me.
Well, we need.
He said and I loved what he said about the subsidies there. One of the big issues we have here, because we have a lot of homeschoolers in Londonderry, and choice is a big thing, especially with the governor and myself and you. We're big choice because we want moms and dads involved. Where are you at on school choice?
Two things I'll mention, and I am for school choice. I think we've looked at vouchers and we've looked at a lot of things, so I'm not sure about the particulars.
One size does not fit all.
As a recruiter, some of the smartest people coming through taking the tests to get people into the military were homeschooled. I mean, they were very
They
well.
higher in all the tests.
It's just they had a better knowledge of everything. They seem to have gotten a better work. The second group that I look at was non-public school people, which includes the religious schools and some charter school. But these, schools that have an agenda. Bishop Girton, when I was a recruiter, put more people in the military schools than any other school in the United States.
Really? That's
Yes.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that was, it was interesting because they taught you what you needed to know. If you wanted to be there, they had a program for you. If you wanted to go to one of the Air Force or Navy or Marine Corps or West Point, you could
I
get
have a
it.
son at Norwich.
Norwich is an
And you
excellent
got
school.
how many sons in the military?
3.
You 3 kids. in the
Well, one of my
military.
daughters went
I have
in.
one in the Marines. Yeah.
One of my daughters went in, and she served 8 years, and she went in as a private, came out as a private, and was very proud of that.
Oh yeah.
But she was she became a nurse, afterwards she's a qualified nurse. And everything.
Right.
So yeah, she did.
That's
So
awesome.
Al's son used to drive Barack Obama's helicopter.
Right. Well,
Fly.
he was avionics electronics
Yeah.
mechanic. So he was under George Bush and then Obama, but he traveled all around the world there. Wherever the president went, they land there a couple of days before.
Yep.
Then they leave the next day. But there's an area of concern here is that, first of all, tell us, what made you make this decision? Very important. What made you want to get in this game? Because this is a different game as a legislator. You either loved or you hated.
Different world.
Oh, I'm pretty outspoken, and I was looking for a job where I could just talk. And I said, you got to read and
Well,
talk.
after 3 minutes, everyone in the house stops listening.
Right,
So
yeah.
Oh, that's
When you go to the well, yeah.
a practical thing. One of the school teachers whose name slipped my mind, but who did the best for me is a speed reading teacher who was always on me to read faster, and because when my test, after you read something, you take a little test. They're always too high.
Can you give us a tip? Because I remember the commercials from the 70s, I think, where they go like this. So I can go like this and read faster. Well, I need glasses on.
I had a
I
little
can't see
machine
anything on here.
that covered up if I didn't read fast enough, I would miss it. It would go faster than me.
Oh.
It went down to, anyways, so I can read well and do and retain what I've read.
Well,
so
there's a reason to vote for you. The man can read.
yes,
Right.
well,
And
what
there's
I
a
was,
lot
Very
of
important.
there's a lot of reading.
Yeah,
That's
because I
what
read a
it's-
lot of the bills. Sometimes I can't get to everyone.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know
and
what
the
I mean?
ones from municipal and county, it's like, good Lord, what do they mean?
You ain't kidding.
That's-
But what's happening, there's groups up there that if you get in, like the HRA, House Republican Alliance,
Yep.
they dissect every bill.
Yep.
So we discuss, so we
Vet
have duty
everyone.
experts in every committee talking about it. And those are the conservatives and the platform people like
Yeah.
myself.
We're the conservatives.
Right.
Well, I want to make a difference. I've served in the military pretty much from when I was 17 till I was 60. I was out a couple of times for various things, but and then when I left there, I was going to be retired. I wanted to do another service, and so I started looking around. I joined the Historical Society, and I did a few things like that. But I really see that if you're going to make a difference, you need to be at the State House. You know, we really, you know, yeah, I can make a smaller difference, and sometimes that's good enough. But maybe I can make a bigger difference.
Yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to change? Any laws or like anything going on with the elderly or veterans? That we have about almost less than 3 minutes, but you know, if you could.
I made a statement at the planning board when I looked around and they talked about what the elderly people wanted, and I said, wait a minute, most of you people are 10 years younger than me. I'm the only elder here. And you know, in my group, from probably 70 to 85, we're doing pretty darn good, you know, as far as physical and everything. But you do have some people who had either a harder life or not great genes or whatever, who are not doing so well. We need to concentrate on the smaller group, and of course the people who are much older. And I'm not sure that the exactly what they need. I go once a week. I'm at the senior center, and I talk to the people there. And you know, nobody has come up to me and said, you know, I'm going to get kicked out of my home, or this is going to happen. Right. They never do. You know, and I know a lot of people in town. So to answer what do they need, I don't know. But it is something they do need help. And as far as veterans are concerned, there's two types of medical insurance for veterans. Veterans like me who have no service-contacted disability have an outstanding, unbelievable veterans benefits. Then there are other veterans who have service-contacted disabilities or service-contacted wounds.
Service-connected, yeah.
Yes. They go to the VA, and people don't understand that there's a difference. The VA has an up and down cycle if you watch through the year. The Second World War, Korea War, there was huge early Vietnam, but now we're having problems as it's getting steady, and they're not equipped to take this volume of people continuously.
Well, they are doing better, I got to admit, with the president there. And, you know, but anyways, if people want to get in touch with you and help in your campaign, how do they get in touch with you here? Because we got about 46 seconds left.
I'm on Facebook. They can give me an email.
Okay, you're on Facebook, Twitter, you got email. We'll put that up, phone number, anything that they can call you?
Yeah, 603-434-1694.
Outstanding. Well, you know, I tell you, it's definitely great. I think you're going to be awesome up there. And of course, we're there to do anything and help you in any way as legislators there. But what do you think, Janine?
I'd vote for him if I lived in Londonderry, yes.
I think he'd be a good asset here in Londonderry.
And actually, just start at the top of the R column, just go all the way down, and don't even look at it.
Right, because otherwise, if you vote to the left, you're getting taxes, more taxes, and spending, and everything else. Once again, this is Who's Looking Out for You. We'll see you next week.